Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to set up your finance subheader and your finance accounts themselves. So finance account is where the direct expense goes or the direct income goes into. So it might be your income from mobile banking, it might be your income from some kind of transactions. So which all builds up to a subheader, and the subheader now builds up to an account header. So let me just quickly show you what I mean right here. So right here you can see your, let me go to expenses, your operating expenses. We can see it here as 98 million. So I can bring down my subheader in here. So if I click down, if I drill down here on the operating expense, you can see the subheaders of the operating expenses, commissions, and all of that. So, and there is another one again that is called the accounts. So once I come down into the accounts, let's come to expenses again. So under depreciation, for instance, on the account you have amortization, asset under review, building and lease, just the specific things that you are depreciating, for instance, as we can see here. So the first thing we are going to set up is the account subheader. So let me show you why we set up this account subheader. So let's see on gross sales, for instance. So you have sub-company sales and trading sales. On discounts, you have those things under discounts, or subheaders under discounts, which is discounts and return on adjustments. And you have some in the net sales, for instance. We are not supposed to be seeing discounts, returns on adjustment, all this. We are not supposed to see it here. Oh, this is the reason why we are setting up account subheader, to make this one, to take this out of here. This is supposed to just return this value, which is the net of this and this. So let's quickly get into it. So I'll go to the P&L. So on the, after the finance detail, I'll write on that variable that we use a formula called this in scope. So the variable will tell us if it's true, that if it belongs to that hierarchy, it returns true. If it doesn't belong to that hierarchy, it returns false. So let's quickly write that measure. So we'll say var finance subheader. Okay, subheader equals to, is in scope, so returns true if a specified column under a level in which it belongs to a hierarchy level. So we are dealing with hierarchies right here. So it's in scope. We are going to take out, we are going to come to our dim finance account, dim finance account, then finance account subheader. So finance account subheader. We're going to pick it. Then to implement this now, we'll come to our formula. So if you recall, this max finance detail means, the detail means if you have a detail in the group of accounts, so return total amounts, then you have a detail that can be summed up. If you don't have a detail, return 0. So I'm going to include a further condition now, that if you don't have a detail and you are not within that hierarchy, so return just the running total. That's what this is going to do. I'm just going to remove this and just put an and condition there, and so and it's not in that scope. That's what this is going to do. And finance subheader, that we just finance subheader, that is finance subheader is not there, so it's equals to false. If finance subheader is false, that should finance subheader equal to false, finance subheader equals to false, so it should return now the running total. So return running total. So comma. So if this is telling you that if you don't have anything to be summed up, and also the subheader is not within the scope of the hierarchy. Return running total. So let's see how this works. Okay, so let's go back to our measure. Okay, we can see now when we drill down here, we can see, so let's drill up back and drill down. So when we drill down here, we can see our sub-company sales and trading sales here. It rightly belongs there. Now discount. So our net sales now, when we drill down, so you can see it's not drilling down. Nothing is showing. Nothing is coming up in there again. So that is how we set up our subheader to appear where it's just supposed to come up. So let's check operating profit now. You see, what is just coming up is the 80 million. So that is how to set up subheader so that it will not keep showing up where it's not supposed to show up. So the next thing we are going to set up now is the finance account. Let's bring the finance account down here to set it up. So I will drill up again. I'll also show you this. When you come to net sales, let's drill down on net sales. So it's not drilling down. So let's go to gross sales. So you can see the accounts in here, just to make sure that no matter which dimension you go into, these accounts will not show. Let's see profit and loss. Okay, so what we will do is to put another condition that if it's not within that scope of the accounts, don't return it, just for safety purposes. If not, like we are drilling down on the net sales now, nothing is coming up. Nothing is coming up. So yeah, so let's even show, yeah, operating expense also. Operating expense, yes, this is supposed to be here, commissions and all that. Operating profit, nothing is coming up, but just for safety purposes, we just have to still include that condition for accounts as well. So we take this same thing, we'll do a variable var, so finance account. So just the same thing, account, that will be equal to, is in scope, dim finance account. Let's just take this same thing. So instead of typing it all over again, dim finance account, instead of account subheader here will be finance account. Yeah, finance account. Then we put another and condition here, take this off, and finance account is equals to false. So return running total. So that is how we set up subheader and accounts itself, so that it won't show up in the hierarchy it's not supposed to belong to. So yeah, this is completely set up. So if we go drill down by let's say operating expenses, we see everything under operating expenses. Operating profit, just see the number there, no drill down, no additional drill down. Then taxes, so just taxes on staff expenses and other taxes. So you can also drill down on taxes, and profit and loss you can't drill down in there. So this is just how to set up your account header and account subheader. This is just how to set up your account header and account subheader for your financials. For this, you can in the next lesson, before we format these metrics, so we'll be looking at different dimension by date, dimension by department, dimension by regions, and all of that, just with this single setup. So this will be all for this lesson. I will see you in the next lesson.